G'day and welcome to another video. Need that extra special hat for Halloween? Or maybe you know one is just a little bit crazy. This brain beanie is sure to make anybody laugh. So let's get started on the lesson. Now I cannot remember at the beginning of the video if I said to make two sections. So these are both the same length, they're just in two pieces because we do have two halves to the brain that we're going to make on our hat. To complete this project we are going to need a beanie. You can use any pattern that you like. If you don't know how to make one, I will put a video on the screen just here and you can go and follow that one, but you can use any one that you like. You could even have this as a knitted beanie as well. And what we're going to need too is a pair of scissors, a sewing needle with a big eye, some scrap yarn. Now this is probably about a metre, about a yard of just scrap yarn. And then you're going to need your brain bit. And what I've done is made an I cord. Now if you follow this video here, you can make the I cord. It's quite simple to do. I think the I cord gives a better effect to make it look like a brain. But you could also use a single crochet or a double crochet and fold it in half and then sew to make a tube. Now what you would do, I would use the foundation single crochet or half double crochet. I'll put some videos on the screen here for the the double crochet and single crochet foundation. And what you need to do, because when you make the I cord it gradually gets longer, because depending on the size hat that you're going to be making will just depend on how much you need. Now these are, I'm just measuring this off screen, these are just over a metre, so it's probably about 1.2 metres, which is about a yard. It's over a yard. And I've already tested this on the hat to make sure that it fits on there properly. So you can use the single crochet foundation and you would just leave that like that. You won't need to fold it over and sew it, or use the double crochet foundation stitch and then fold it down and then sew up the edge. But I think this I cord looks great. So what you're going to do is you're going to grab your hat. Now I've got Miss Polly, which is the one that is modelling my hat. And what we're going to do is, now if you don't have Miss Polly, you can use a balloon, blow it up to the head size that you need, put a tea towel or some sort of fabric over the balloon, because we're going to be using a needle and we don't want to pop the balloon. So we're going to thread our needle with the scrap yarn that we've got. So this is the red stuff I've got here. And what we're going to do is, I'm just going to move this camera, which is a bit tall for this video. What we want to do is go up a few rows and we're going to stitch the scrap yarn. Use big stitches, you'll see in a minute what I've done, and just make all the way around. And what this is going to do is just going to be our guide. This scrap yarn does not stay in the hat. So it's just a guide so we know where to go down to. If you want to make it right down to the brim, of course you're more than welcome to, but I'm only making it down to about there. It's about 2 inches from the bottom of the hat. So grabbing your scrap yarn, I'm just going to put it in here. Probably it's better to start in the centre where you want the front centre. And I'm just doing big stitches. Like you can even make it really big, so I'm following up the line of the hat. So I've made my stitches really big because they're going to get pulled out, so it's not going to matter. So continuing around. And bigger stitches are going to be easier to pull out of the hat as well. So work around until you get back to the front of the hat. So this is what my hat looks like. It's not even, it's just randomly gone across. And then what we're going to do is find the centre of the hat and go up the top there, and I'll stitch it on and then show you what it looks like. So there we go, that's what it looks like. So what we've got is the bottom line is just a guide to let us know when to stop. And then the one that's going up the centre, a brain has two halves to it. So we're making one on one side and one on the other side. And when we finish our I-cord, or whatever you've chose to use, you're going to leave about 1 metre of spare thread or spare yarn so that we can sew our project onto our hat. If you've already finished off, don't panic, that's perfectly okay. Just join on a piece of yarn to the end of your I-cord or whatever you've chosen to make for it. So we are going to get our hat and then we're going to start attaching our brain. So I've decided to sit on the ground to show you this one because it's just a bit of awkward to get her in the camera at once. So you're going to get your I-cord and we're going to stitch it to the front of the hat. Making sure we're not all tangled up. So we're just going to stitch it down. So don't stitch over your red yarn or whatever colour you've used because we want to pull that out later. And when you're making your brain, make sure you have straight sections at the centre and also at the side here. Not really big ones like that. You don't want real big straight pieces, but just little straight pieces because, well, that's pretty much what a brain looks like. So you're just kind of just curling it around. And then stitching as you go. So I'm just going to stitch this part. Let me see if I can zoom in. So I'm just picking up a loop on the hat and then a little bit on the I-cord or whatever you've chosen to use. So I'll stitch through the hat and through the I-cord. And then we want to curl the brain section. Now you can do it however you like. You could go like that, you could curl it back around, you could come up here, do a few curls up there, come back around. It's really how you want your hat to look. And because you're using the I-cord, as I went along, I basically just put this part on my hat, just kind of held it in place as I went. Just roughly did what I thought would look good. And then I knew how long to make my I-cord. So when I got to the end, then all this fit into the section that we've got marked for our hat. And that's how you measure how much you need. So depending on how curly and how tight you make all the pieces, that's how much you're going to need. So here we go. I've started to sew my brain on. Now you will find that you may have to come back, just add a couple of stitches here and there, because I'm sewing it along the side, so this little bit kind of sticks up, so I'll have to come back, just put a couple of stitches there. This bit's not too bad actually, it's just that little bit there. But that's okay, I'm just going to put a little stitches just to hold it down in place. So continue on with your squiggle pattern until you have that one side finished, and then I'll probably come back and show you how far I've got, and then we need to do the other side. So have fun You could also pin this on so you could get what you've got, see what you've got, and then you can stitch on, but I think that might be a bit harder to do, so I'm just sort of freestyling and sewing it and stitching on as I go. So I hope you're enjoying this project. There's another section I need to stitch down a little bit too there. See how it moves too much? Just need to come back and put a couple of stitches in. That's alright. So I hope you're having fun, and I will see you soon. So I have the first half of the brain complete. I'll just turn it around so you can see. Oh, stay there. Looking good, isn't it? I really love this project. It's so much fun. So you want to do the same on the other side. Now you don't have to keep the brain exactly the same on the other side, but I think this is going to look absolutely fantastic when it's finished. So I'll see you at the end of the video. So there we go, my brain's finished. This looked so cool. So after you've got all of your brain on, then you can take out, and this is really hard to do one-handed, take out your scrap piece that you use for your guide. So thank you for watching my videos. I hope you enjoyed this one. I must say it was pretty cool. And I think no two brains are the same. You could create quite a lot of squiggly patterns there. So please post a photo to our Facebook page, Bob Wilson 123. If not, you can email me your creation. And my email address will be in the description box below the video. So we're just pulling this out. And there we go. Miss Polly has a brain beanie. So thanks for watching, and until next time, happy crochet.